My name's Metaxas. I'm one of the e-learning designers with Trent Online out of the Center for Teaching and Learning. Today we're going to be exploring a few different kinds of accessibility tools. They're things that I use all the time and hopefully you'll be able to get some use out of as well. So let's dig in. So let's say you're putting together some media and you want it to look a little nice. One of the tools that I love using is this Adobe color tool, where you can take a color that you want to start with and it'll allow you to comb through different palettes and color schemes. It'll show you complementary colors, and then from there you know that you're getting something that's pleasing to the eye without you having to know a whole lot about color theory. It's one thing for the colors to look nice, but we also want to make sure that what we're putting together meets accessibility standards. So generally, after identifying a color scheme, I'll take those shades, these RGB codes, what the computer needs to generate those colors, and I'll put it into an accessibility checker. The one that we're using here, WCAG, that stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. It's going to show whether or not your chosen color combination, the text or what's happening in the foreground versus the backdrop, the background color, whether or not that's meeting standards and guidelines. And so it's a really important step, and it helps us make sure that we're crafting accessible content and media. The color stuff is really useful if you're crafting media from scratch or you're coming up with your own designs, but in a lot of cases you might be working with resources and material that already exist. Fortunately, we have solutions for that as well. I get a lot of great mileage out of this website, OCR Drop, and OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. And basically what it does is, let's say you have a PDF which is basically just a glorified JPEG. We're not able to highlight any of this text. What OCR Drop is going to do for us is we're going to pop the PDF in, it's going to spit the PDF out, and like magic, all this text is going to be highlightable and machine readable, which is great if our learners are using screen readers or other accessibility tools. So this last tool, Yuja, is something a little bit more institution specific. Here at Trent, Yuja kind of acts like our own private YouTube in a lot of ways. We're able to capture and record what's happening on our screen. We can upload and embed that to course content items in Blackboard. We can make edits. It's a very useful thing that we have access to. And what makes it especially useful is by going and selecting media in your media library, you're able to actually just click this button and send it off to get automatically captioned for you. It's really important that after the auto captioning takes place, you go in, you double check, you take a look. It's not a flawless system, but it does get pretty close a lot of the time. You can go in, and if there are issues, you can click right here, and that'll allow you to make edits to the transcript. You can re-upload them, and you're right as rain. We're seeing more and more classes online in an asynchronous capacity, and the more that we're learning and meeting and socializing online, the more we have to keep accessibility top of mind while crafting our content and these spaces. It's up to us as the creators and custodians of the material to make sure that we're taking responsibility for the content and making sure that the spaces themselves are equitable and accessible for everybody. As always, you can get in touch with our unit about this or any pedagogical inquiry, really, by emailing online@trentu.ca.